Okay, we're recording.
Okay. All right. At this time, I'll open up the Board of Public Works meeting for 11/17/2020 at 4 p.m. And before we get started, I'll ask if anyone besides Mr. Fenney through the Zoom feature here is recording the meeting. And if you are recording the meeting, please state your name.
I don't see anybody else.
Okay. So with that said, we'll get right into it, and we'll review and approve the minutes of the meeting held on October 22nd, 2020. So when ready, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes unless there's discussion.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
All right, second.
I think Tom's got his on mute.
Yeah, Tom, you still there? Tom, O'Brien, you around?
I think he was in his vehicle.
Yeah, I don't know if he lost service.
I'm sorry. I lost my connection there for a minute.
No problem. Phil made a motion to approve the minutes for the meeting of 10/22/2020, and we're looking for a second.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, next item on the agenda is the superintendent report.
Okay, I only have a couple of items for you this evening. The first one is staffing updates. The department finally has filled all the positions that were open within the department. Our new skilled labor that should be starting hopefully early next week, Walter Swan, is a new addition to the DPW. So we wish him good luck in his new endeavors with the Department of Public Works. The only next thing I have on my agenda is the Heritage Park redevelopment project. Obviously, this is going to be put forth by the Recreation Commission to kind of give you a brief overview of the fees involved. So the soft costs for the project, which consists of base plans, survey of the area, soil test pits, and analysis, permitting, construction, and bid documents at $471,500. We currently have from the CPC is $113,000 that they allocated towards the project already. I'm not sure if the Rec Commission is going to look for the balance, but the balance for the soft cost for the project is $358,500. And then we have the construction cost for the project, which cost roughly $7,369,670. This includes 2 new soccer fields, a new community center with bathrooms, 90 new parking spaces, some trees and plantings, also with dredging of the pond and stabilizing the banks over there, relocating the dog park, a new bathroom buildings in the front of the facility on the North Main side near Big Y, with bathroom facilities and 3 basketball courts. Also, there's going to be new parking for 120 spaces. Other than that, there's going to be some new walking trails, a new vehicle loop for the amphitheater near the center of the pond, a new splash pad for during the summer months. And really, that's about it, except an accessible fishing pier as well with the project. I believe you guys seen all the blueprints and everything else that goes along with it. Do you guys have any questions, concerns? I know Phil may have some comments to say.
When I first looked at it, Bruce, I wasn't surprised at the layout to some degree. It seemed like more of a renovation job in the front end, and an additional, building for the community center. And I was also curious about the amphitheater, how many people that would hold. and the location of that in relationship to the bathrooms by the basketball court seemed to be a distance away, and I wasn't sure whether the layout was maybe the best layout
Right,
for $7 million.
okay,
I have concern about the total cost of the project overall, given priorities of the whole town and stuff. But I don't disagree that the Heritage Park needs to be renovated overall to some degree on existing soccer fields, and they do need to be updated and renovated to some degree there. But I thought the open space up by the soccer fields was kind of wasted in the whole picture too. There was a lot of open space in that upper right-hand corner
right,
that might be utilized, given that it was a lot of stuff was being jammed up front,
right.
and whether that was being utilized properly in that overall plan. But the cost seemed to be extravagant overall. Given that we have Heritage, center field and the Brown Farm that's going on, that's under partially the recreation department.
Right.
Overall, to be, what are we using them for?
Right.
To be spending $7 million before high school, I had concerns about that personally, but
Okay.
that's just looking at the project itself. I thought it was a little on the high side.
Okay. Just keep in mind too, these are estimated and projected costs. Sometimes, if you're lucky and depending on the time and the timing of any project, sometimes those costs are significantly lower. I don't see it coming in millions of dollars lower, but probably the cushion in there is probably 500,000 or so.
I would also like to see the project broken down into phases to some degree of, what would be done first, maybe a second phase or a third phase,
Right.
because of the large extent of the total project. Maybe you may not be able to do it totally, but maybe there's some things that need to be done first, you know what I mean?
Sure. So that's
And-
what I did. If you look at the breakdown of the cost proposal, it is
Yeah.
kind of segregated into pieces just in case. Like I said,
Yeah.
if they did want to phase it into two different years, fund half of it or 3 years or something along those lines. So that's always an option, Phil.
Okay.
So good point. Anybody else have any questions?
I'm all set. I like the plan myself. I thought it was well laid out. It's definitely needs it's overdue. So glad we're looking at it at least.
Okay. And maybe.
I agree. It looks great.
Okay, and I don't know if down the road, I know before the meeting, we were just chatting back and forth a little bit, but maybe a joint meeting with the Recreation Commission if they deem it necessary, or if you guys want to talk about the project a little further. So we can discuss that down the road or through emails if you guys want to do that, okay, as we get closer to submitting the project.
That sounds good.
Okay. That's all I have on my report. I'm sure I'll be talking, obviously reviewing the FY22 capital plan. So that's it for me right now.
Okay, we'll go to the Deputy Superintendent report, Mr. Christensen.
Hey guys,
Right, Tom.
I don't have much yet either. We're just getting ready for next construction season and hitting our MS4 benchmarks. So other than an update to the budget and the streetlight conversation possibly later, I'm good for now.
Okay, fantastic. All right, Water and Sewer Administrator report. Felix.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen. I'm going to run through it quick. We completed our manhole sealing project. It's now down to 218 feet of vertical manholes, prevent our I&I intrusion. We're hitting our sewer mains heavy with jetting, trying to clear up the grease and root cutting. It's about that time of year. We usually hit it pretty heavy in this time of year and into winter. Hitting our meter changes and a lot of utility markouts pretty heavy as well. So basically, we're doing a lot of sewer work, a lot of sewer inspections, a lot of cleanup, a lot of maintenance.
Quick question for you, Felix.
Go ahead.
Is there a lot of cleanups in certain areas that are consistent year to year?
We have some root issues in certain areas.
Are they on the list about replacing?
Yeah, I'm actually trying to put together some streets now for
Okay.
fiscal 2022, but it's very expensive, Phil.
Yeah, I figured that. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, probably twice as much as replacing water mains.
And just so you guys know, kind of a little point of information, I know I spoke to it probably last spring at our, we received that grant for a sewer and stormwater asset plan. So that is coming to an end, and obviously it's going to help us out in planning our 20, 30-year CIP plan for our sewer system and stormwater system, which is, we don't even have anything to go by in previous administrations. No one really did any sewer replacement work except for repairs. So that'll be rolled out to you once it becomes available.
Okay, anything else, Felix?
That's all I've got.
Okay. All right, we'll go to the building facility manager's report. Bob. Excuse me, Joe, sorry. Looking at the wrong name.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Well, he moved up, Joe, from forgetting about you.
I don't know if it's up or not, but pretty much just rolling along with the building, trying to keep the maintenance up on the buildings and inspections that we need to get. The schools are going in a little more. They're up to like 150 students now. And I was talking with Mr. Smith this morning about his plan for a very slow reopening plan. So he's going to try to get stuff going for that. And that's about it. Just trying to keep everything going for the winter.
Okay. Great, thank you very much. And we have the highway and utility manager report. Errol.
How you doing tonight, gentlemen?
Good, how are you?
Good. Just gonna go through like pretty quick here. Basically, the Parks Department, we're still picking up leaves. They're working on aerating the fields in our step 4 fertilizer application. We also went around and winterized sporting equipment, picked up the benches, soccer nets and lacrosse nets, and that they're no longer needed. Put those away. For the highway department, I kind of got 2 crews out between catch basins and manholes and paving, and they're doing a heck of a job. We've taken that massive list and we're down to single numbers on amount of catch basin repairs that we have right now. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we're down to 9 in our work order system. The garage, we're working on prepping snow plows, sanders, and maintenance on services on vehicles. Water department, Felix kind of covered everything there, markouts, their meter reading, and a lot of sewer jetting. And our stormwater division has kind of been working with the guys doing the catch basins. And obviously this time of year, we get a lot of vacations. So that foreman has actually been stepping in, helping out the other crews and filling in spots for guys that are on vacation and working. Guys are really working together and getting the stuff done in this crunch time. And that's pretty much all I've got for today.
Okay, great, thank you, Daryl. And the next agenda item is to review the proposed fiscal year 2022 capital plan.
Okay, thank you very much. Please keep in mind, everybody, once we do approve the capital plan, if we do this evening, try to make an appointment with me to obviously get your wet signatures on the plan so I can submit it to the town manager. So whenever you guys are available, just give me a shout and I'll come on out and meet you, okay?
Bruce, could we sign the signature page and just send it to you too? Would that work or no?
Yeah, that would work.
You'll have 3 different pages, I guess. I don't know if that's an issue or not. If it's a big deal, I mean, it's not a big deal to come to town hall.
Yeah, and like you said, I don't know if, typically I like 2 copies. Obviously one for my records and one for hers. So like you said, I can meet at any time, Bill. I can stop over on the weekend, whatever you guys need to get it done, okay?
I would just stop down to town hall and give you a call beforehand.
So maybe we can do that. Maybe we could just schedule, like I said, have Phil come by first, have him sign it, and then whatever you guys need me to do, okay?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna get started on the building maintenance division. So the only item, there's a slight modification on this plan due to lack of a contractor getting back to us for the service building HVAC upgrades. We had to move that out to FY23. So in the building maintenance division, we're only looking for a town hall generator, the boiler replacement at the senior center, and the town hall ADA elevator just bid documentation for a total of $332,561. Any questions?
Nope. Questions for me.
Keep in mind too that generator may be coming off. I still have that grant to submit to the MEMA, so I'm working on that now. The cost analysis benefits is due next week on the 24th, and the total grant application will be December 11th. So we may end up taking that off the list at a future date, just to let you know. Okay, the next one will be under the highway division. Everybody get a place. So we're looking for $150,000 for our sidewalk fund. We're also looking to repave the fire station and also the crack sealing the town-wide parking lots. So that totals $339,569 total for the highway division. Any questions?
None.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay, great. We'll move on to the equipment section. Nothing has changed there. I'm just going to read the total off because there's a lot of reading involved, but if you want me to go down each line item, I will.
Did anything change here? This is the same as
Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing's changed. So we're asking for a total for we're asking for 1, 2, 7, 8 pieces of equipment for the total of $572,684 for the equipment portion of the Department of Public Works. Oh, I do have Mr. O'Brien. I know you had some questions about the mini excavator versus a backhoe. Don't know if you're happy with that explanation and or do you want us to change that to a mini excavator versus a backhoe? Didn't know your feelings or you were satisfied with our explanation?
Actually, I'm satisfied with your explanation.
Okay.
You know, what you said, all valid points, and I thought about it after. It's just
Okay.
the license issue in transport.
Okay.
So I agree. It makes sense for you.
Okay, thank you. Move now on to the water division. I believe that's page 103. There's only a couple items on that. It's to replace the water main at Cooley and Avery at a price of $658,499. and a replacement of our F-350 Truck 11 for $67,866 for a grand total of $726,365 for the Water Division. Questions, comments?
None.
Okay. Nope.
All right. Moving on to the Sewer Division, page 124. So the first item on that list would be replacing the 1987 jet truck with a updated Vector truck for $261,031, and to do some pump services at our Vineland station for $50,936, for a grand total under the Sewer Division of $311,967. Questions, concerns, comments?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, good. We'll move on to the Stormwater Division. So we have two items on this. We have the Vector truck that was obviously split between the Sewer Division for $261,031. And then we have the Westin Dam. That's actually one of the projects that increased slightly. It's changed from 173 to 185,600. And I can let Mr. Christensen explain the difference in price. And it's based on our conversation at our last meeting on, like you said, instead of putting a lot of money into it, to see if we can, I guess, not maintain it anymore and take it down at a future date. But some of these items need to be accomplished first before we can do that. So, Tom? You're muted.
This is me in a nutshell. Yeah, so I ended up reaching out to Ty and Bond to find out what that process would look like to eliminate the dam at some point. It sounds like, and I'm sure you can imagine from permitting and construction and that it would be sort of a lengthy process. So the way that the original capital request was set out, it was for the short-term maintenance of the dam anyway, so we left that in there. And the additional $12,000, 12,600 and whatever it was, 12,000 and change, was to start sampling the sediment in the pond itself to find out what that was going to cost to get rid of if need be. The explanation was, if we let the water go at a obviously a greater rate than it is now, what are we going to do downstream? Now the water wouldn't do anything, but if there's contaminants in there, obviously everybody downstream would feel the effects of that. So the first step in removing the dam is going to be finding out what kind of contaminants, if any, are there in the impounded water. So that's why the increase. Like I said, it's only 12,000, but and that may change when we get a hard contract together. If they're already out there doing some things, maybe that number comes down. Maybe some other numbers come down because we were using the same consultant for all this work. So it's not that much, but it's a significant, and it will at least get us to a point where we're maintaining the dam to a point where we should, since we just submitted a report that said we would, and get us going in the right direction to see if we can remove the dam altogether.
Good. Any questions, concerns?
No.
Makes sense.
Okay. So that change in price, obviously, so that division under the stormwater division is 446,631. And that really concludes our capital plan for FY21. So if we want to vote on it, that'd be appreciated.
Okay, give me a second. All right, so Phil, I'll start with you. Looking for a vote from you for the proposed capital budget for fiscal year 2022, yay or nay?
Yay.
Tom, O'Brien, yay or nay for the proposed capital budget fiscal year 2022?
Yay.
All right, myself, William Jelinas, I'll give it a yay too for the fiscal year 2022 budget. So unanimously approved, and we'll come to you, Tom, Bruce, to come sign it.
All right, thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate your comments and input on the whole plan that we put together this year. So thank you.
Great work as always, everybody. So thank you for the efforts. I know it's a lot of work putting this thing together. So
Thank you.
You too, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
okay, let me get the agenda pulled back up here. If I can find it on my computer. All right, so the next agenda item is other business. I know we had discussion on the National Grid streetlight conversion to happen under this segment here. So, Tom, I think this was your item.
Yeah. I had forwarded you guys some additional info, sort of updating. I think Grid had done this for us a while back. Just giving us a sort of a cost or savings estimate on what it would, instead of purchasing the lights and altogether, just having a straight conversion to LED from National Grid. So I assume everybody got that email. I know, Phil, you had a follow-up question about removing some of the fixtures as well, which I did follow up. I got an answer this morning, but I didn't have a chance to elaborate with Grid. So I apologize for that. She did say that is an option to remove some fixtures. I think there's a limit on how many we can remove per year. Again, I didn't have time to talk about the specifics, but I think, obviously converting this is going to generate some savings every year for us, and not have to worry about, owning the lights and setting up a new division potentially, and, the maintenance and the time that would be added to the department.
Yeah, my question to you, Tom, was that when you look at where the lights are located and stuff and everything, it seems like we could probably eliminate 10% or even up to 15% of the lights and get as much savings as far as replacing them with LEDs.
Which I agree, and again, I wish I had some time to pick Grid's brain about that for you. Obviously, if the savings are gonna be, obviously realized. Obviously, it would be a little bit more if we could get rid of some lights altogether. And you drive down a straight road like Summers Road, and they're on every other pole because that's what they did.
Exactly. And I've seen that on Parker Street, Summers Road, and I question even the side streets in the older sections of town versus the newer sections of town don't have any lights.
Correct.
And so why do we have 4 or 5 lights on in an older section of the town side streets? Why are they on as active lights when we know some streets and side streets in town don't even have any lights?
Right, and I'm sure Bill and Tom could attest to this a little bit, and because of my background at a electric utility, it gets pretty political pretty fast. You start taking streetlights down that people like, even changing them to LEDs, people are not going to like the color of the light. It's just, that's the way it is. So I'm all for, this is our job, right? We're going to go through all the options, and of course we want to try to save some money for the town. And if we can do that and sort of minimize the impact to the community, then I'm definitely all for that. And if we want to have a meeting with Grid and you'd like to sit in, and if you have specific questions, I think that it's all a great idea, Phil.
But well, my whole point is, it doesn't seem like we have a standard process of what streets get lights and which one. We know certain new developments don't have any lights on the side streets, but like I said, the older sections sometimes have 4 or 5 lights on them.
Right. And I don't know Grid's policy, Phil, but the underground lighting tends to be a bit more expensive.
Sure.
There's no poles, obviously.
Right, obviously. But,
Right.
but my whole point though is, they're side streets and they don't have lights, so why wasn't there initiative to remove some of the lights on the older side streets that are totally unnecessary?
Right. And
Or at least if a street's got 4 or 5 lights, maybe they only need 2 at certain intersections rather than on a runway.
right. And we were bouncing this around the office the other day. Obviously, intersections, hills, curves.
Right.
Absolutely. Right.
And I'm not against that, but
no, of course.
but
That would be a safety thing anyway. That wouldn't be something we'd even
right.
entertain.
And my whole point is that we could probably attain the same savings by eliminating 10% or maybe a little more of the lights. And when you look at the list, I think you could easily achieve that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And that's going to go into Grid's policy and whatever sort of procedures they have in terms of, it's easy to say, but maybe they don't want to lose all that money.
Well, I'm not so sure whether they like it or not. It's what we want.
Correct. No, that could be true. But I mean, there's an agreement in place between the town and National Grid.
Yes.
And
I'm
we
not
might
sure
not
what
be
it
able
says.
to just, I'm sorry.
I'm not sure what that agreement says, but all I know is that I'm a customer.
Correct. Yeah. No, 100%. No, I get it. And that's again, like I said, I wish I had time to follow up, so I had some more details tonight. I just did not today. So
Well, that's okay. My whole point was to bring it to your attention. That's all.
I agree. Hey, listen, all the questions are good, and Joanne over at Grid will answer any question I have almost immediately. So I have no problem going back over the tape tonight, and I will put all these questions in email form and send them right out, and I'm sure we'll get answers almost immediately.
Thank you, Tom.
No problem.
Yeah.
What kind of commitment do we have to give them, Tom, if we decide to move forward? I mean, is this something we can decide after the fact, say, hey, let's start the project on the main roads or whatever, or wherever we know we want to keep the lights? I don't know. I can see this getting drawn out, right? Like you said, it can become a nightmare to start picking and choosing which lights we want, which ones we don't.
Right, and I suppose that would be one of the benefits of spending all the money to do this up front, is we wouldn't wait to get on Grid schedule, right? I mean, I don't know that obviously the saving energy and all that is at the forefront nowadays, but if we're saving money, they're losing money. So I don't know that they run right out to get this done tomorrow. So again, these are questions that are all going to get asked, and the more we have, the better. And like I said, she's been very good about answering all of them in a very, very timely fashion. So
Let me ask you a question, Tom. There was 2 lists that you sent out to us, active and inactive lights. Does that mean the inactive ones are still up on the poles and just not turned on?
I guess I didn't see the inactive. Where was that? Was that the big, huge?
Yeah, that was the
spreadsheet?
sheet that you sent out.
Oh yeah. I haven't delved into that big old spreadsheet.
And I was wondering, is that the reason when I drive along the road, some of the lights are not on? That are
And
up on the
that's
pole?
true. And so they very the town may very well have asked to have those removed, and it's
Or
easier for
turned
them.
off.
It's easier for them to just turn them off instead of spending the time to take them down.
Right.
In
right.
case, like I said, it gets political and somebody says, I want my street light back, then they just go turn it back on.
It probably cost them more to take it down than to just take out the bulb.
Well, that's my point. It might be just as easy to have it turned off than to remove it.
Right.
And,
Well, like you said, we'll follow up at our next meeting where we're at, and obviously emails back and forth between now and then to answer you guys' questions.
Yeah, I'll get all those questions down, and I can even I'll copy you on the response or however that goes.
thanks, Tom.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, thank you. All right, any other business to be discussed for tonight's meeting?
Nope, I don't have anything.
I'm all set, Bill.
All right, hearing nothing else, the next agenda item is to schedule the next meeting. Bruce, I'll leave that to you if you want to do it by email or if you want to do it now.
I'll do it by email, and I don't know, depending on what happens between now and then, I'm starting the budget probably after Thanksgiving, so starting in December. So I'm thinking maybe after the holidays, unless something comes up, if you guys are okay with that.
I'm fine.
Sounds great to me.
And
Sounds
like
good to me.
I said, and I'll just keep you in the loop on these little things and what's going on, a little correspondence here and there. And if something comes up and we need to have a meeting, we'll schedule one before then if need be.
That sounds great to me.
All right.
All right, hearing no other business, I'll take a motion to end the 11/17/2020 Board of Public Works meeting.
So moved.
All right, second, Phil?
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All right. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank
Bill.
you.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
Thanks.